Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns. Welcome to 333 Magic 9, where the cards and stars come together to bring you spiritual insights for your life. You can subscribe and hit the little bell for notifications for when I have new videos. Visit my website for a special introductory offer, internetpsychicreadings.com. The link will be below. Now, let's take a close look at the power of the stars and the cards. Pisces, the card for the first week of the month is the Chariot. Now, the Chariot deals with achieving things, going places, direction and movement. And as you can see, she is holding on rather tightly here because she needs to direct where this energy is going. But she also needs to be a little bit flexible because there's a lot of change energy in the air this week. Now, part of that is because Mercury is up here and he's going to square Saturn twice. And Mercury is in your 8th house of psychic sensuality and sensitivity. So you have to be very careful in business and intimate situations. The wrong words at the wrong time can hurt feelings. And this is very unusual energy because Mercury will be going direct, so that means he will first square Saturn retrograde, then he will square Saturn going direct. So someone can say one thing one day, and 2 days later they may say something different. So the Saturn Square from your 11th house really tells you to be careful with how you are dealing with friends or associates. Don't get hurt. Don't say the wrong words and hurt other people, because there is just a lot of unusual energy around. Now, there can be some people that want to intentionally mislead, but there's also just a lot of confusion because of this change that goes back and forth, back and forth. Now, it'll be very important for you to keep clear because by the end of the week, the moon will move up and form a triple opposition to Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. Now, that's really important. That's very unusual, and it can throw anybody's emotions off balance. And again, you really have to be a little bit careful in group situations or in personal situations. You may find that there's some disappointment with people, friends, people doing things and going places without you, or just not understanding one another and what one another need from each other. So do be careful. The card for the second week is the Hierophant. Now, this is a very powerful card, and there's some very powerful energies in the air this week. But you just look at him. Look how he sits there. He is very content, very much within himself, very much knowing that he can control the situation. Now, the aspect at the beginning of the week is Venus up in the 8th house, and that really intensifies your sensual nature. You might want to join your energy with someone special. However, there is an opposition to Mars down in the 2nd house, and the 2nd house is the house of money and values. So you're going to have to be careful not to be too excessive, not to seek too much pleasure, because that can be detrimental to your well-being. But also you have to be careful with handling funds that are not yours. So don't mix your funds with other people's funds without a clear agreement beforehand. Now, let's get back to the power play. And the power play is Jupiter conjunct Pluto. That's an exact conjunction in the house of groups and people, new people, humanitarian groups. So you may be able to use your networking skills to get ahead. Now, the idea of Jupiter Pluto I call the kingmaker or the king breaker. So do use your energy and your power wisely. You may have to leave some things behind you so that you can get ahead. Now, the other thing that is happening is that Mars will be moving direct after being just in retrograde motion for such a long period of time. And again, this happens in the second house. So it's an important time for you to know exactly what you need in life on a financial level and know how you're going to go get it, but also what do you truly value in your life? That's also an important issue. The card for the third week is the Fool. Look at her. Woohoo! She's having a hell of a time. Not looking where she's going. She's just beginning new things. And that's what the Fool is all about. It's a takeoff card, a jump off card. Yeah, but you got to look, you see, you got to look where you're going a little bit. So the reason why the newness is important and the beginning idea is important because there's a new moon up in the ninth house. Now this helps you plan for the future. It helps you dream big dreams and to follow your ambitions or to create new ambitions. This is a good time to publish or to study, to share your ideas. But you do need to be thoughtful, deliberate, and measured in your efforts. Now, Venus over in the eighth house will intensify your sensual nature. Woo! You may have an ability to join your energy and your resources with those of others, both for pleasure or for financial gain. But again, you always have to know what is yours and what is someone else's. You can't just use anybody else's money or resources without their permission and beforehand. Now, the reason we say this is because there is a square, a triple square to Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn. And that can cause a lot of trouble with associates or in group situations. So you cannot rely on words that you hear people saying, especially in social situations. And look at her here. She can't even see that rabbit hole that's right behind her, right in front of her. I mean, she's just running along. So what this suggests is that you can move forward, but don't take silly chances. Don't be silly. The card for the fourth week of the month is the Queen of Wands. And as you look at her closely, she does look to be a little bit stern. But she's not really stern, and she really can be helpful because she has achieved success. And that can be very important because right now Mercury up in your ninth house will be energizing your ambitions. You have an ability to learn new ideas and new concepts. So keep your mind open to new ideas and maybe discuss them with others because there is a wonderful trine to Neptune in your first house of personality and projection, and Neptune is with the moon. Now that really can be a very creative influence, and it can also give you the ability to influence the feelings of others. Now there is one thing that has to be mentioned, a little warning here. Venus is up in the ninth house of your beliefs, and it's in opposition to Uranus in the third house of intellect. So you have to maintain a balance between your beliefs and perhaps the ideas of other people as well. So don't be going flying off the handle because this can be erratic energy, and especially in relationships. I'd like to thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe because these videos are free, and hit the little bell for notifications. And for a special offer, visit my website, internetpsychicreadings.com.